I told myself I wasn't going to ask this, but this is on behalf of a friend of mine who used to be a Toronto Raptors fan, and this may not be a place you necessarily want to go back to, but it was, what, 5 years ago?
Oh, Kobe?
Yeah. And
go ahead.
Yeah, and to quote him, he said he knows who's supposed to be checking Kobe. So,
Maurice Peterson was checking Kobe. But it's, go ahead.
Yeah, but just what was going through your mind as that was going on?
He's talking about a game that I was playing for the Raptors, and Kobe Bryant had 81 points. That game, right?
Right.
If Luke Walton scores 20 on me, I'd be upset. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But Kobe Bryant's a Hall of Fame player. It's not like he's some scrub they brought in off the bench and all of a sudden he start making shots. I mean, this guy's had 60 points. He had 60 points last year in the game. That same season, he had 65 points against Dallas in 3 quarters. And that team went to the finals. And I appreciate my Raptors teammates, but we were a lottery team. So he was kind of doing to us what he was supposed to do, really. But I have a lot of respect for him. And the thing a lot of people underestimate about that game is he never taunted. Like, he never thumped his chest. He never pounded his head. He just stayed focused and he kept playing. Because if he'd have done that, I would have slammed him on the floor. But he just continued to play and stay focused. I'm just glad it was a meaningless regular season game.
Jalen, all through the interview, you've talked about the people who have helped you and supported you throughout your schooling life, your basketball life, and your personal life. It's going to be important for the young people at the academy to have that kind of support. I know you've met with Michael Joseph, the current president of the University of Detroit Mercy. What is it that you foresee? How are we going to handle mentors for all these young people who may or may not have any in their own lives?
And that's very important. A lot of times you can't necessarily lean on your brother or your uncle or your dad or your mom or somebody in your family because a lot of urban youth come from broken homes. That's just the reality of it. And that's the great thing about the partnership with UDM is that you have college kids that understand what it's like to be in the high school kids' shoes. And they're going to be able to provide mentors for them, whether it's academically, whether it's emotionally, whether it's just being a big brother or a big sister, somebody that they can look up to and say, I want to be like that person. And that's what giving back really is. A lot of times people think that's a financial thing. It's not necessarily a financial thing, it's an emotional thing. And you have so many people that want to do the right thing and so many students that want to give back. And this is going to be a way for a lot of UDM students to give back as well.
Jalen, I want to go back to that Kobe Bryant. Yeah, I can't help it. I just have to make a comment on that because it was so exciting to hear you speak with respect about someone, you know, a competitor, and I think just want to bring out that how exciting it is for me as an educator to hear reference to, you know, respecting someone else and their skills and whatever, because that is how we set a culture, I think, in a building or in a department in any kind of institution. That it's not about slamming your opponent, it's about doing the best you can do and respecting your opponent. And I'm excited right now. I'm really excited to be part of that.
And it was two different things for me because I got a chance to play against him as a member of the Raptors on the team that went to the lottery. Then I got a chance to play against him when I played for the Pacers on the team that they beat in the finals. So I respect him as a player, and I know he's a great player, but it was just one night. It's not like it carried on for a month or a year or something like that. It was just lightning in the bottle, and he caught it. But he didn't break the record. The record is 100, so he's no Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay. But it is exciting because to have someone like you putting together and starting this project in the city of Detroit, this is something I think our youth really need to learn is that. So
and in life and in sports, sometimes that's that's a line that's kind of been blurred, is that the respect and the humility of the person next to you, the person down the street, you know, appreciating what they do. Yeah. Because of entertainment and what happens with the big dollars that are thrown around in sports, sometimes kids don't appreciate the person that's working 9 to 5 every day trying to do what they can to feed their family. That's important also.
Yes.
There are only 450 players in the NBA, 1,900 in the NFL. That's only 2,400 people. Okay, Ray McCallum Jr. fills that up at UDM Gym. So when you pay attention to that, that's not a lot of people in the big scope of life. It's great if you can be one of those people. Fantastic, congratulations. But what else would you like to do with your life? You know, and that's where we're trying to get into the kids' heads and get into their hearts.
Wonderful.
Jalen, what I so appreciate about you is that you had an incredible university career, being part of the Fab Five. You had an incredible 13-year professional career, where very few people ever have an experience like that. You've branched out now into another career with ESPN. A lot of people aren't able to make those shifts. You kept your head on throughout all of this. You have a manner that, I mean, I know you're tenacious. You want to accomplish a lot of things in your life. What drives you? What drives you to that kind of an end? Because let's face it, so many people that have had careers, have had accomplishments, you know, they hit the couch, they start surfing the stations, they feel, okay, well, I did my part. Why do you feel that you have so much unfinished business?
I feel like God has blessed me with so many people that really care about me and put me in a position to have success, and He's given me so many different talents. The reason, I played in the 2000 NBA Finals, and I was covering the 2002 NBA Finals. I went to Michigan, got my radio, TV, and film situation going. I was playing on a great team. Everything was fine. Then I got traded to the Bulls. Well, in February, they only had 9 wins. So I figure, I guess I'm not going to be in the playoffs this year. So that's when I started working in the media while I was playing. So while I was playing 13 years, I was working 6 years in the media. So really, this is my 9th year in the media because I was doing it while I was playing. And having so many gifts and so many different opportunities thrown my way, that allows me to want to strive for excellence and not be lazy. I told myself I'll never retire. I didn't want to be daddy in the basement with the remote, just waiting on somebody to bring him a plate all day. Like, there's so many things that I feel like I can do to give back. And I want to, and also too, I want to help erase the stigma that Detroit has nationally. You know, as somebody that's able to travel to different cities, different states, and seeing a lot of national reports, whether it's on Oprah or whether it's on Nightline, all of the things that are said about Detroit is negative. And they talk about the warts that we have. And we have them, all major cities have them. And I just want to be a part of helping turn around that image of our city, because it really bothers me when somebody comes up to me and asks me about my hometown and their image that they portray to me is negative. And so that's what I'm trying to do, help influence as many kids as possible to try to help turn that around.
Okay, is that it from the audience? Okay, Jalen, one last comment from me, talking about the efforts to revitalize the city. Being an advocate for Detroit and for Detroit education, I was just wondering your thoughts maybe on the Super Bowl commercial with M&M, the Chrysler commercial, and maybe other efforts to project a good image of Detroit.
I took pride in it. I was like, yeah! I was hyped when I saw that. I was really excited because my mom worked at Chrysler for 25 years. And watching the Super Bowl, a lot of people that aren't football fans watch the Super Bowl to watch the commercials. Right. And ironically, I was in that day, I was trying to watch the game on my computer, and the commercial came on. And I was like at the airport. I was just sitting there. I was kind of, I didn't have anybody to rub shoulders with, and I wasn't in Detroit. But I was really excited about it, and that's what we need more of. We need more of that. Yes, Detroiters are willing to roll up our sleeves and get dirty for the cause in a positive way. And those are the kind of images we need. Those are the kind of images we embrace. And we got a lot of young men and women in the Detroit metropolitan area that want to do right. Like, kids don't want to fail. Like, you see kids all of the time, and you know, they get to the age of teenagers, and sometimes their life starts to steer in the wrong direction. They don't want that. That kind of just happens. So we're trying to influence as many as we can to go in the right direction.
Okay, well, it sounds like you have a great mission and a great message for kids, and certainly wish you all success in the future.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And if there's nothing else that you'd like to add, we'll wrap it up here. I'd like to thank our audience for being with us, and once again, thank Jalen Rose.
Thank you. Good job.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.